We are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships, coming to you live from the Grand Sierra Resort here in Reno, Nevada. Ken Shuman here for CSI, and we're going to continue with some one-loss side action this round. Jayson Shaw and Josh Roberts getting ready to go at it. Would expect a little quicker pace here, given the fact that Jayson is in the match. Want to commend Amar on his win there in that match. That showed a lot of heart, and he just hung in there and finally took advantage of his opportunity in the last rack. So we're coming to you from the Kamui Arena, and we also want to say thanks, of course, to Kamui, one of our signature sponsors. They are the official tip of the USBTC, along with OB, the official cue of the USBTC. So here we go, first rack, Josh breaks, beautiful cue ball. Look at this, nice way to get started right here for Josh. 3 balls on the break, and it looks like there should be nothing to stop him right here in the opening rack. Got a chance to speak just for a couple of minutes with Josh yesterday after his match with Scott, and he was pretty disappointed in the fact that his break let him down. His cue ball was getting kicked all over the place and scratched a couple of times. Was really the difference in the match, but Freezer played really superbly. So certainly Josh is looking to have a little better performance, and that's a great way to get started with a break and run. Jayson, by the way, if you hadn't had a chance to read this current month's edition of Billiards Digest, it had the annual awards for 2014, and Jayson was named the most improved player, even though he's been in the country a couple of years. But he had that big win at Turning Stone, and he's become a threat in just about anything he enters. Success there. Kind of hard to see whether he can make the one or has to bank it, or maybe he can't do either. He certainly would bank it if he has the chance. But he's going to push, so he can't do either. I wouldn't take this. But that's just me. What do you think? Would you shoot? I don't know if you noticed how subtly he used the inside of the pocket there. Cheated it because he wanted to hit the one as fat as he could to help slow the cue ball down. Ooh, that's a bad mistake there. He Caught the 3 a little full, slowed his cue ball down, changed the path. He wanted to come around for the 4 in the same pocket. Now it looks like he's going to have to play the 8. Unless he's playing the billiard. Well, he played the 8 and called it, and he made it. See, now it's going to be interesting to see if this affects Josh when he comes back to the table, whenever he comes back. He had a beautiful out. He made a little bit of a mistake on his position. He made the tough ball on the 8. But in the back of his mind, he knows he shouldn't have been there. And sometimes that stuff just eats away at you. Oh, wow. Was very haphazard on Jayson's part to not recognize that possibility. He's got to know that the side's there if he's playing it that way. It's just, you know, brain lock. I mean, what else can you say? He had so much room there to get on that ball. So an opportunity squandered and a chance for Josh to stretch out to 3-0. That's exactly what happened to him in his match against Scott. He was hitting him solid, made a ball, and the cue ball's getting kicked in. And you can't legislate for that. I mean, you know. But it certainly gnaws at you. Got one back on Josh's break, so he can even things up here with a break and run. Just a little quick story about Jayson at Derby City. Before I do that, I do want to recognize, of course, OB once again as the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships. along with Kamui, the official tip here of the USBTC. And again, our sincerest thanks to both of those organizations for partnering up with CSI as long as they have been and continuing to support this great event now in its 22nd year. It's really grown to be a very, very prestigious event. Regrettably, we're missing a lot of the top guns because they're over in China playing the World 10 ball, which I think is just underway, and they just completed the Chinese 8 ball over there. But I'll tell you a little Jayson story here in a second. Let's watch the break first. Much better. Excellent cue ball control. Ball made. So anyway, while Jayson's going through this rack, unless something strange happens, we'll get back to it for a second, but we're at Derby, and of course, for those of you familiar with what goes on there, we have the George Fell's Memorial Straight Pool Challenge that has become an extremely popular part of the Derby City Classic, and you know, the players in the preliminary stages put up $100 and they get 12 chances with ball in hand to see how many they can run. And then the top 8 players at the end of the qualifying rounds go into a single elimination bracket for the championship. But nevertheless, during the qualifying runs, Jayson took his first crack with 12 attempts over a couple of days when he had time, and he never got past 56. He told me, he said he just couldn't get past the 4th rack. So it was a couple of days later, and we were sitting upstairs talking for a little bit, and play was over for him for the day in the Derby, and he said, you know, I'm going to go take another crack at that straight pool. I just don't feel like I played the way I should. So he went downstairs, it was 10 o'clock at night. On his very first inning, he ran 227 balls. And that turned out to be the high run of the tournament. And it also turned out to be the first time we had ever had a run over 200 in the qualifying stages, so he now has the distinction of holding that record. And he's certainly not known for his straight pool play, but he likes the game, and he shoots so straight that I would expect we'll see more of that in the future. But anyway, congratulations to him on that and his award from Billiards Digest. So let's get back to things here with Josh breaking off in rack 5, now tied up at 2-2 on the serve. Hard to tell if there's room for the 1. We'll know shortly. Sort of from this camera angle, it looks like it, but he's going to have to cheat the pocket a little bit, and still got to get down somewhere near where the cue ball is now to shoot the 2 in the lower right corner. Josh looks much more focused today than in his match yesterday. Nicely done. 3-2 for Josh. You can see over there just to the right of Jayson the Cyclop logo there. Cyclop, the official pool balls here of CSI. And of course our other supporting sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products, naturally. Who else would we have? Along with the Magic Ball Rack and Simonis. Ball, yes. And a shot at the 1. Oops. Did not want to do that. If he draws it off the 9, he's got to miss the 7. Oh, he missed the 9 altogether. Yeah, but part of this is because he didn't get good on the 3, and unfortunately now he's going to have to play a safety. And he made a nice shot there. That's a really deft touch to do that. Easy ball for Josh to hit, not necessarily an easy ball though to come out with a good leave. Just hoping for something good here. Looks like Jayson can get in there and make this. Looks like the really nice safety that Jayson played on the 4 ball is going to turn out to win him the rack. And back and forth we go. You can see all the vendors in the background there on vendor row. We've got our usual group of colleagues over there, and always nice to see them support this event and come up here for a week. See this cue ball here. Boy, he's just exploding the break. No reward, I don't think, here, though. It's the second break in a row. He's made 3 balls. You're not going to shoot that. No way you take this. Now, once again, we've mentioned this before, but when you're jumping towards a ball that's close to the cushion, you always have to guard against the cue ball bouncing off the object ball up on top of the rail and onto the floor. He's got quite a bit of room to let it settle down here, but you still have to be careful. Not bad from where he was. He'll take that. Nice shot, Jayson. Very nicely done. And for the first time in the match, we find Jayson Shaw in the lead, 4 games to 3, and he's breaking in game number 8 with a chance to stretch it out even further here. This is one lost side action. Someone's going to go home. Our next match is 1 o'clock, and it's winner side action. I haven't been advised of the players yet. I'm sure that they've been chosen, but Justin hasn't given me the information. But as soon as this match is over, we'll find that out and post it up for you, unless we learn about it before the match concludes. And I would think we'll have a couple 3 winners matches for you this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, I think the plan is to play down to the all the way to where there's only 2 players left at the end of the day, and have the final for you tomorrow at a time to be determined. But that was the plan according to the tournament directing team earlier today, and I'll confirm that as we go along. But it looks like 8:30 tonight will be the 3rd place match. 2 ball, is it going to go? Yep, it did. lot of room there to get on the 3. And the 4 is all the way at the other end of the table, so however he gets on the 3, he's got to have at least an angle that will come 2 rails down. That's the line he wants to be on right there. And you have to, because of where the 6 ball is near the cue ball, he can't use the second rail, which really helps you with your speed on a shot like this. It looks like he may have to just lag this across, and that's tough. He may even try to go between the 6 and the 9, or he may put inside on it to somehow use that second long rail to help to control the speed of the cue ball. It helps you with your feel, as most of you guys know, when you can make use of that second rail instead of just letting the cue ball roll into position. He's got much more margin for error with the second cushion. Maybe he's even looking at 3. I don't know, but we're about to find out. 1, 2, well. He's got a problem. He's got no pocket for the 3 ball. He can roll him up on the 10. Don't think the 3 goes in the side by the 8 ball. Even if it did, it would be really hard to keep that cue ball anywhere in the kitchen for the 4 unless you ran into something. So let's see what Mr. Shaw decides to do. Did he point to the side pocket? I think he did. The right-hand side as we're looking. That's pretty much a two-way shot there. And he got the result that he expected if he didn't make the ball. Got to look probably to kick it in the side. If he gets the jump cue out, I'm just not sure that there's anything good that can happen here without him just getting pure out lucky. And of course, he's got to be careful of that side pocket should he hit the 3 on the wrong side. He's got, Jayson has the option now because Josh knocked the 10 ball in. That spot's up. It's illegally pocketed. Jayson can pass this back or he can shoot. Looking at playing the cross corner, or is he just going to play stick safe? Oh, it hit the 9. He didn't want it to hit the 9. This looks really tight. Might be able to spin it in. Yeah, he tried to. He got a roll. You know, if the 3's on the short rail, it's going to make it much harder to kick in, because you can actually hit it and just double kiss it and stay right there. I don't think he has a 3-rail path. Boy, you'd have to get that cue ball up in the air in a hurry to do that. He might have a 1-rail kick, just barely missing the 10 ball. Yeah, see that? That's the line I was thinking about. Just barely missed the 10 ball. think he made it. Nice shot, Jayson. Got a lot of tools in that toolbox, let me tell you. Five-3. Really sweet kick in on that 3 ball by Jayson. He deserved the rest of those after making that shot. And that was the only way he could pocket that ball and keep the cue ball down there for the 4. He's found the sweet spot to break, that's for sure. If this cue ball doesn't get kicked in, he usually is coming up with it sitting in a good spot. He's got a nice look at the 1 here with the 6 to help him if he happens to hit it bad a little bit. The 2's on the other corner. Wow. Boy. I wonder why he hit that so hard. I mean, yeah, on a shot like that, you've got to give it enough to get it to the pocket, but because he put so much English on it, it deflected out to the right, and it actually hit the rail and then hit the ball. And he's handed Jayson an opportunity to get to the hill and be breaking for the match. And I don't expect that's not going to be what's going to happen here. Jayson had that 1 blunder in the, I think it was the 2nd game, when he scratched 3 rails off the 8 in the side, and since then he's been solid as a rock. So he's reached the mountaintop, and he has a chance to close it out right here. one other reason that, of course, Jayson is so successful on the bar box tables was his early career back in Scotland and the United Kingdom, playing English 8-ball. Actually, you know, they call it black ball over there, but he's a two-time world black ball champion, which is English 8-ball, and he's also was a junior world 8-ball champion as well. And in the U.S. Bar Table Championships here, he's got himself in the past couple of years, he's got a top 4 finish in both 10-ball and 9-ball. So, Josh gets a quick game back, closes the gap to 6-4, breaking now to put the heat back on Jayson and force him to not commit a mistake when he returns to the table. Because Jayson's only going to get one more chance to break because Josh has the hammer. If it goes case, he's got the break. Not sure. Doesn't really look like he can get by the 8th. The 310 is, you know, it's not wired, but because of the gap between the two balls, which is probably an inch plus, it's certainly makeable. So he's got to be careful here too, that he doesn't turn the table over. If he's going to push, I would probably push and get the 2-ball out of there, but he may even push and move the 10. I think that the 3 with a 10 is a pretty good choice. Maybe just stay hooked and play for a kick or a jump. But he did break up the 310, which was his primary objective. You can see why he chose to break up the 310, but it may not be enough because they're all out there. And that was really dangerous right there. Boy, he almost got himself hooked. Missed the 4-ball now. Okay. The only thing that could slow him down or possibly stop him now is he's jacked up. He's not quite straight in, which means the way I thought I saw the angle was the cue ball is headed kind of towards the 5. That ball skidded. You could hear it. Yeah, he looked up here. He knew. You could hear it go thud. And you can get a skid on a straight-in shot. I mean, he still made the ball, but that's why the cue ball didn't get where it needed to go. But when you can come back from a mistake with a shot like that and play 4-rail position, you can withstand a skid. And this for the match. So, Josh Roberts is eliminated by a score of 7-4. And we're going to sign off temporarily here. We've got about 45 minutes till our next match, winner's side. So we'll be back as soon as we know the match. We'll let you know. And post time is 1 o'clock. You're watching the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships live from Reno. Stand by, everybody. Thanks.